Just having a couple of little just thumb screen issues anyway. I think we're sorted. It's going to be quick today. I'll refresh that. There's a lot I want to talk about, but I'm not talking about lots tonight. I'm just going to get into it and play. Like everyone, sticking to a regimented routine, and I don't want it to be too regimented, but I want it to be regular. And that's why I kind of mix it up. Some days I do more, some days I do less, but I've got to check in each time. And it's Friday night, 7 o'clock here in Queensland. It's been a beautiful day. I've been in the studio all day recording a track for quite a huge DJ. We're just trying to come up with an 8-bar hook. And I had to get my iPhone replaced, so I'm driving around and doing all this sort of stuff, and I could quite easily just not do this now. However, we all go through that. And on Sunday, it's actually tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 7th day. Sunday is the 8th day. I want to improve. If I don't do this today, I'm missing an opportunity of expanding, and who knows what might happen today to push the barriers. If we don't come back and do it, we're just not going to improve. And it's those times when you don't want to do it is when it's most important to find a couple of minutes, even if it's just to come in and check into the just into the practice progress chart, try and tick a box and go. At least you've done it. You've pushed your boundary. You've explored. You've looked around. Now, if you were watching yesterday, I had an injury. I've still got it, but I'm not going to die. It was just one of those days where everything went wrong. And then halfway through the stream, the broadcasting service just stopped. And that means big trouble, because then you need to get codes in bed, and I didn't bother. I just kept recording it. However, the recording of it is on YouTube and is going to be on the Windworks Week 2 page at the website. So all was not lost. And so I'm going to get right. Now, there was a couple of things. There's someone who's really frustrated with getting the the mood to happen. He's stuck on the pedal C. However, he was stuck for ages without the pedal C. And it's not pedal C, it's down there. It's around, it's probably a B or a B flat, around just below that pedal C harmonic. And what's the greater frustration? What you've been fighting your whole life, or the fact that a new approach and learning new skills isn't happening as fast as we want? If there's any impatience, we're in rejection of reality. And you never want to reject reality, because reality is what it is. So we need to accept the player that we are, understand the concepts that we're working on, emotionally detached from the process, keep doing what you've always been doing, but allow the new sensations that we're developing and the new understanding slowly morph into your regular playing. It's not a click the fingers change. We're undoing, we're not undoing, we're relearning new skills, creating new pathways, more direct pathways that will take time before they're the main route, main road to the destination. We still have to drive around this way, but don't be frustrated by it. There's no point. There's no point. When the brain goes, I'll never be able to play like this, it's just the old reptilian brain talking. That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. That's not how to do it. I know how to do it. Do it this way. And I just observe that, and pat him on the shoulder and say, we're not saving lives. We're just trying to refine our playing. And based on the understanding of the science, a recognition of the feeling, an awareness of what the voice feels like, then we can incorporate the concepts that I go through over and over and over time. You can't choose to consciously do it. You can plant the seeds. You can't force things to grow faster. You just water it. You come back every day and water it. Come back every day and do the chart, or come back every day and do your pedal tone and become more familiar with it. It's a demanding process. And even what we're doing here at the Harmonic Slur Challenge is, what could I do last week? What can I do next week? Now, if you haven't printed out your charts, I want everyone to print it out, because the best way is we're still going to use the digital charts, but I want to fill this out, tick, 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 fold it up, put it on in an envelope, and then at the end of week 5, it's almost the end of week 2, it's flying. It's flying. And at the start, if people, when they realise it was 5 weeks, oh, I can't do that. What do you want from your playing? How dedicated are you to it? I've been thinking of a friend called Matt Clowisy, a bass player. And I used to be on tour in a Blues Brothers band. I left my university studies for a year just to get my head right with where I was at, what I needed to learn, all this stuff, make some money. So I toured for 16 weeks with a Blues Brothers cover band. And while me and the band and sax player Phil, great mate of mine, we'd go out and party. We'd get home at 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock. And here's Matt, metronome on, playing really hip jazz lines, and just, he was a quality player as a youngster and always had ambitions to be awesome. So when we're out partying, he's the one at home practicing, and he's now living in New York. He tours with the best of the best. He's a killer player, as good as it gets, from regular practice. And as I said, I was torn. I'm going out, things to do. But I couldn't not do this. Now, I wanted to do it earlier, but said 7 o'clock, so I'll do 7 o'clock. But today is just a check-in day. I'm not going to do the whole thing. So if we work down the page here, just so you're on the ball. There, I didn't even update that, so I got away with that. That's because yesterday crashed and I was injured. I just left the room. Please read the forum. There's some great forum action going on. Watch that video, please. Week 2, here's where you print out your progress chart. Now, if you're here at the Facebook page, but you haven't gone to the website to do this, there's you'll find the link. It's mysterytomastery.com/WI Windworks International HSC, and then and then /register. So you'll find us there, or just go to the website, go to mysterytomastery.com, and you'll find the links. So here we go. Very quickly today. But the funny thing is, I say that now, and once we get into it, I'll probably end up doing the whole routine. It's sometimes the hardest part is putting the sneakers on in the morning. Once you've got your sneakers on, you feel like going out and doing some exercise. But getting out of bed and putting the sneakers on is the hard part. Getting into the practice room is the hard part. But once we're here, we tend to keep playing. So we'll see what happens. I did something with this silly screen. I'll fix that for tomorrow. I apologise. Oh, crikey. Hang on just 1 second. Yeah, that's all wrong. Just give me 1 second. I'll fix this. There we go. That's better. It's a bit better. It's not perfect, but it's okay for now. Oops. Rightio. So week 2. Without fail, even though I've been playing today, first thing we do it with me. What's the first thing you do? Close your eyes. There's the lungs. You don't have to squeeze the balloon for the air to come out. That's what we're looking for. Passive, not active, not squeezed. So it's Friday morning in America. Welcome. Oh, hang on. No, it's Friday morning in the UK. Welcome. Getting my continents mixed up. I want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. And you may not be able to do it yet, but if you keep telling yourself that, you keep understanding it, you keep doing these processes. I got squillions of these things. You should have one. So, as much as I hate going to the post office, I've got them because they're good. Experiment with the different sounds you can make. In the ultimate level of the course, I go through the alphabet really slowly. A, B, right? By the time you get to the end of the alphabet, you will not be able to think about sound the same way again. And what you recognize in the mouth, it doesn't matter what country you're from, what dialect you speak, eyes closed, recognizing when voice activates, when p, lips start the note. When you get to W, you'll recognize some extraordinary things about how the body creates sound, and it's the shape inside the mouth that determines the quality of tone on the instrument. So then we've found our passive airflow, so the 4 steps. What's it about? Discovering aperture corners, eliminating pinch, finding airflow. I want to say it again. Finding the aperture corners, not the corners of the mouth, not this, the aperture corners, the corners of the opening, releasing the clamp or the pinch in the middle of the lip, finding the airflow, setting up body resonance, and then being able to carry that through onto the horn. How? So it will feel weird. Do I play like that all over the horn? No. This is where we start, just to get the feeling and the understanding. All right, it's really important. And check out how the rim doesn't affect the airstream hitting the tissue. Interestingly, sometimes this happens with people. And then what do they do to fix the problem? Blow harder. Think about that. Air's all of a sudden going down here. Blowing it fast is not going to fix the problem, but that highlights the biggest problem with brass playing. We've got a problem, work harder. We've got a problem, force the air. We've got a problem, blow harder. Force it into shape. Don't know the right shape for the pitch, blow harder. Force the note. That's what we're trying to eliminate here. And the feeling, close your eyes when you're humming. How hard is it to do? Passive. I want the lips to interact with the air as if they're the vocal cords. I'm going to say it 1,000,000 times by the end of the challenge. And there's people all over the place going, it's nonsense, it doesn't work, it can't work. It works. Do it with your eyes closed, because you can tend to grab the mouthpiece and get into mouthpiece playing mode. You get into player mode rather than experiment mode. Now there's a distinctly different shape in the mouth from the 2 pitches there. Some people start low, some people start higher. I have had given one lesson to a new student. She's about 11 years old, and we went through all of this. It doesn't matter how old your student is. They can understand the feeling of humming. They can see a balloon. You can spot if they're doing that, kicking the air. You can spot it. You can eliminate it. First note that came out with this amazing setup I'm not kidding. The first notes on the horn, this happened. She hit the middle C, and then a G came out. And she opens up, and this low C. First lesson, had never touched the instrument, had never touched a mouthpiece. It's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. All right, so then, again, I'll demonstrate the transition from the voice. All I'm doing is this. It's just activating the voice, then deactivating it. And if the corners are set in the right shape, there's no pinch in the lip, there is no need to kick the air, and we get a passive low C, and it can ring its freaking head off if everything's in balance. You'll never play a louder low C than that. You'll never need to, right? It's on the edge of being, breaking up. It's so loud. Rightio, so I'm going to get straight into it. I might just do every second one today because I'm just out of here. But on the tough days where you just don't want to do it, come in and do one. You could come in here and go, all right, 208. I've got 5 minutes. I just want to see if I can get my 5 seconds. So I'll do that. All right. So this is a really quick practice routine. In fact, very quickly, fastest Largo warm-up ever. Oh, my valves. I live in this weather now that I need to, all my valves every second day. It just dries out. All right, so there's Largo warm-up. Done. Now, 208. I've got to go, Uber's on its way, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Turn it down a bit. And, of course, this isn't ideal practice, but it's better than no practice. E to A. Remember, tomorrow's day 7. Get your videos in. The longer you leave it, the less gradual improvement there'll be. So, can I get 5 seconds? First time ever. It's really close. It's as close as it's been. It's as close as it's been. I'm getting more familiar with the feeling of it, and we're only in week 2. Yeah, it just keeps falling off the back there. And you could go, right, I need to go now. But I've checked in. Oh, it's not quite there yet, but you've still pushed your limit. And you've repeated a limit that was last week possibly unattainable. So you've only done a little bit of practice, but you've pushed your boundary. Hallelujah. Right? Or you go, oh, well, I've got time to do one, the speed limit. Now let's do a time limit. So let's go right back here. I haven't been able to get, interestingly, I had 2 there where I got big breaths in and lasted for 65 seconds, or about 63. But haven't been able to get 55 at 100. So let's do that. So what I might do is work inwards today. Always mix it up, keep it a bit interesting. Work inwards and see how long you stay for. See how long you join me for, how many you try. You might go, okay, cool, I've just done a couple and I'm out of here. Up to you. Let's see what happens. I've done none of my breathing bag. Don't have time for that. Even though it's best to do every day. Using the Voldine, using the spirometers, stretching out the ribs, stretching out the lungs, getting everything active. Righto, so let's just off the cuff, see what happens. So that was a half speed. So first one in for the day, and but 35, 40 seconds. That's okay. That's okay. No warm up. But again, you can go radio. Unless I do some good breathing bag stuff, unless I do some good spirometer action, my normal breath, and mine's, as you can see here, the average is about 50. All right. So that was the first one. No preparation. Just pick it up and do it. And at that rate, I'm not going to make too much progress on that. But isn't it interesting that there are a couple there who are over 60, but the average breath isn't there? It's just one of those things when you have moments that are beyond your normal ability, and other times where you just look at it and go, that didn't go so well. But again, what are we doing? Working on breath control, pushing our limit every day. So you've gone as long as you can. How cool is that? Just go for as long as you can. And then learn. Don't be affected by it. Just learn. See, it's on paper. This is what I'm capable of. Cool. And then we go back to 200. Happy Friday, everyone. Friday. So, haven't got 5 seconds yet. Let's see what happens. Again, that release. Let the sound back in. If you haven't seen my other days, you're not going to have a clue what I'm talking about. Air is at the lips. The sound that we hear is a combination of trumpet and body. So we open the lips and let the trumpet back in to add to the body. Let the sound back in, release the energy, energize the pipe, do not engage. Although I don't want you to poo attack this one, but it's just that idea. Body's concert hall. Instrument playing me, I want it playing into a concert hall, not a tiny practice room. Oh. I'd love you to comment, yes, no, yes, no, yes, you did it, no, you didn't. I don't know. It was back right on the 5 second mark. Even though I nailed the 5, it just didn't groove. So again, just think of the logic here. I can do one beat. If you can do one beat, logic says you can do 2. If you can do 2 beats, logic says you can do 4. If you can do 4 beats, logic says you can do 8, so on and so forth. So why doesn't it work that way? What is this whole gradient about? What's that about? Why can we do that, and then why can we do that? That is the question. What happens as we go through? It doesn't matter what speed you're working on. You'll all have the same shape in your practice progress chart. There it is. It's proof that I can play it at that speed. There's proof that I can play it for that long. Why can't I maintain the speed? It's just an awareness. We're being driven by the subconscious. It's triggering the muscle memory. So unless we push our limits, we're not going to develop that muscle memory. But we can't control it. All I want you to think of is this. So imagine this, and it's not exactly, but the idea, wah, wah, wah. Right? There are two parts to pitch change, what the lips are doing and what the tongue's doing in the mouth. I don't want to talk about tongue position, right? It moves, but I don't want you thinking about controlling that, because what's changing the pitch is the lips here. If I keep the lips exactly the same, it's really hard to move the tongue around and not do stuff, but you can hear the sound changing and it's not very pleasant. But if we don't worry about the tongue, it's the connection, the attachment of the lips to the pipe that is just changing a little bit, changing the frequency of the oscillation in between the lips. So don't worry about tongue. And if you can imagine, no engagement, loose here, nothing. Then put your fingers here and go, You'll feel that inward movement. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right, I know I'm mad. Whoa, 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 whoa. If we turn the voice off, if I put the metronome on, there's the exercise. So I could do a preparatory exercise. And visualizer. So you've experienced the success of the exercise. Let's take it even a step further. The pitch won't be the same, but I'm living the experience. I haven't done that. I haven't done that before in first 2 weeks, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. If I can go, focus on the wah, 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 wah. Put this on. There's obviously a pressure differential because of the back pressure from the cup, and that can make a difference to it. It just slows it down a bit. So again, when we find the optimum flow and optimum shape, you can hear I couldn't do 4 beats, and I discovered 8 beats in the last week. And some people might go, what's the point of going to these extremes? It's all about efficiency. It's all about automatic response, the motor skills from way beyond what we're trying to control consciously. And the more refined, the more efficient it is, the easier it is to do things like split, crack, whatever. You get the point, right? There's no, there's hardly any engagement from the body. And basically, you see anyone trying to play, it's characteristic to study number one from the Arbin, is engagement, tightness, and push by the time you get to the G. And unfortunately, it's encouraged because it's got a crescendo going up like most exercises do. Get louder as you get higher. What does that do? It just encourages forcing of the air, Valsalva choking, too much air pressure, pressure on the chops, all of this, you know. We're just energizing the air in the pipe. And for you guys that are watching it every day, I'm sorry to repeat, but I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Because I've got to just keep hammering home the concept. Energizing the air in the pipe. So with that wah, 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 wah in mind, I'm going to have another crack at 200. Wah, wah, wah. What? What? And it's just faster than I could do it 2 weeks ago. You be the judge. 5 seconds. It's there, but I want every note to be nailed, every beat to be nailed. So it's not there yet. It might be tomorrow. Who knows? So you could go, okay, I'm done now. Done now. Need to go out. As I said, once I get started, I keep going. Now, I don't need to do this one here because I've just timed it out. 108. Now. Really trying to open up there. So I'm getting to 4.5, and when I do a few, I get to 5. The other day, and interestingly, what happened the other day? I experimented and did a long note just to make sure I could hold the note. I played the long note for 65 seconds. That got the body in the long note form. I was getting to 5,000 on that. Here I only got 4.5 then. It's all tied in. It's all tied in. And the smarter practice we do, the more we look at these things, dig deep, what's happening in the system. Lo and behold, if you get more air into the lungs, you can play for longer. The longer we play for, the less air pressure there is. So we're making the face work really efficiently on almost little to no effort. So then when we start to give it some oomph when we're playing and whatever, you get more bang for your buck. Here we go. So I'm going to see if I can get 5 here. Just almost 5. Okay, so 108. See if I can get 55. Oops. So expelling air all the way out. Really empty the lungs and fill up. Almost going on the brink of hyperventilating. So it's 50 seconds. Right. 192. There are people that can hold their breath for twice as long. There are people that can do it twice as fast. Doesn't matter. Just the ability to improve. That's all I'm looking at. The learning process. Emotionally detached, an awareness, recognition of what we're capable of doing, and a strategic way to practice coming back each day to try and improve something. So as yet, I haven't ticked a box. Could be the first time in 2 weeks I haven't ticked the box. It's looking highly likely. 192. Now I'll just check in, see if there's any comments. I haven't actually looked at this to see. I couldn't find the live stream yesterday. I want to press refresh, but if I do that, it messes this page up. Oh no, there's comments there. Oh, cool. All right, I've been worried about nothing. Cool. All right. How are you, Simon? Good to see you. Rightio, here we go. And it might seem weird that I'm sitting here on a Friday night, talking to very few people. However, I'm building the whole challenge. It's going to be online for years. People can work through it from the start and have a good hour lesson every day if they want it. 192. What? So there's the experience of it. That's the body feeling it. So I've got to get 10 seconds. Yeah, so it's really interesting to recognize the difference when there's there it is. That's a really cool thing to recognize. Oops, I just got all my toys over here, dropping them. Let's put him back up there. Isn't it interesting? I find it fascinating. 5 seconds, nailed. 10 seconds, forget about it. But it will be at some stage. Amazing. All right. So, but again, it doesn't matter whether we tick the box or not. It's the process of constantly, daily exploring your limitations, finding your limits, finding your boundaries, and pushing them every day with pure process and emotional detachment to whether you tick a box or not. Because all of a sudden, when you least expect it, you surrender to the process, you tick 2 boxes and then 3 boxes, and it's just amazing the way that it happens. 116. Again, it's fascinating. 184. We need to get... This is where we might be able to tick a box, perhaps. 184. So I've got 10, but can't get 15. How random's that? And this whole 45-second average breath is not thrilling me. So that's something that I'm going to spend some more time on. Find the things that you find frustrating about your playing. Be aware of it. I know I'm capable of doing something, but this keeps happening. So what's the process of fixing it? So that's what I'm going to look at. I'd love to be able to go for a minute every time. And I used to be able to. That's the interesting thing. Although, again, I've never done long harmonic slurs like this. It was only long notes. And I proved to myself the other day that the long note I can do for 65 at first attempt. So there is something coming in the harmonic slur that is just requiring just a little more nudge of the air. And I think that's probably what happened. Is I played the long tone and went, that's what it feels like. So the smart people would go, Greg, well, why don't you just play a goddamn long note at the start of each? Right? Okay, I will. From now on, I promise. Hope I remember. Wah, 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 wah. There it is. Five. It's pretty rough, but I'll keep going. If it was my own practice time, I'd go back and do that again. So, if I can't get 10 seconds, why can't I get 15? There's no rational reason, right? Let's try. Not even close. That just feels so weird. Get one beat. We just find out what gets in the way. That's what we're looking for. And you go, oh, I'm doing that. A bit too much, a bit not right. Something's there. But we find it by just coming back. I need to say again, I'll go back to 126 because I'm going to get out of here shortly. 126, 126, 126. Need to get 50 seconds. This is an interesting tempo because the chops just do go, nah, enough's enough. They get confused. Wah, 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 wah. There's nothing hard about this. So I think that's 50. I think 126. Oh, hang on. 126 was 45 seconds and 50 seconds. There you go. There you go. That's how it works. So that means 138. I should be able to do some damage. But let's go back to 176. It's addictive. See, when you tick a box, you just want to do more. Can I do another one? Oops. 176. Five. 10. 11. So there's that moment, and it generally happens around the 176 where the chops are getting a bit confused. That's okay. That's okay. They still learn from doing it daily. I'm not fatigued. Don't, if you're feeling chopped out or you're pushing, no pushing. No pushing. Light on the face. Okay? So there should be no, if you're getting, have a rest. You know? There's no fatigue at all. It's just they start going, what are you doing to me? It's great. So let's have a look at 138. There's an obvious discrepancy in the flow, but they keep opening up like that one did there. So there's what you can really aim for. So that is, I just had a little thought. We could actually have in all of these boxes really faint little numbers. That'd be cool. We could actually eliminate that and just have little numbers in there, 35, 40, 45, 50. That'd be cool. All right, we'll do that hopefully for next week. 38. So what am I doing? 138. Sorry, I'm thinking about 10 things at once. 35. That should be okay. 138, 35. See, all my brain's thinking at the moment is I want to spend a good half an hour on the Voldine to open everything up and play some really long tones, because that's my trouble spot, and we find our trouble spots and it changes. You go, oh, I'm having trouble with this bit, so you spend time on it. No, I'm having trouble on this bit, spend time on it. Having trouble on that. Here's an interesting one. Yet that's from the final movement of the Carnival of Venice. But when I get to that bit, but when you get to it, and every time I go to double tongue those A's, the double tongue doesn't speak. Kills me. There's the example of what I'm talking about. You'll get a little thing that just won't speak. and you just got to break it down, do it slowly, and speed it up. So I love that little bit there. It feels so obvious to me. I know exactly how to fix it. It's just a matter of doing it. 138 for 35, right? Here we go. I took a breath. I had juice in the throat. The annoying thing is I was completely and utterly in control of the harmonic slur, and I just ran out of air. If I had taken a better breath, I could have easily got to 40. Easy. Oh, in fact, I ticked 35, yeah. So I want to do it again, but I won't. I won't. Come back to 168. So I did tick that, didn't I? Yeah. I just want to do 176. I think I might have already done it, but that one's an anomaly by 1, so I want to fix that. And then we're done, my friends. Okay, so I'm done for that now. It's intense doing it this way. I'm only doing it so quickly because I'm live here and I want to get through it. You can take your time on it. You can be more selective and only pick a couple every day. You don't need to do the whole chart. However, if you do the whole chart, you're going to get better results in the short term. Now, I haven't looked back at my week 1 chart, but I can guarantee the difference between the week 1 chart and this one is quite, profound. So imagine what we do after 5 weeks. And if you're doing it every day, you're going to be starting to feel the difference. I guarantee it 100%. That's not what I'm doing. That's what I want there. Can't find the live stream on Facebook. It's got to be streaming. Oh, you're on Facebook there. Oh, but you can't see it? I'm watching it here. Bo. And I got your email. I've got a bunch of emails I will get to you. Yeah, you're watching it here on Facebook. Do you mean you can't find the stream on the website? It should be there. Yeah, it's still rolling. So, I don't know what's going on with that. Blacko. Don't you hate it? Anyway. Dodgy business. Anyway, it is what it is. Any questions? Any thoughts, criticisms, queries? Thank you for watching, and see what happens. I'm now 56 minutes into it. It's just getting started. And before it, I don't really want to do it. But then the thought that came into my mind was, but I want to achieve something. and it's documented, you know, and that was enough to keep me coming back. I could record this anytime. I don't need to do it live, but I'm setting it up to do it this way. I'm back at 10 o'clock in the morning, and tomorrow's the final day of week 2, would you believe? It goes fast. And I think we don't set goals well enough, possibly. If we could get, and I could talk about goals for ages, because we don't want to set unrealistic expectations. So there is a degree of observance required, observation required, so we don't get ahead of ourselves. Like I was saying at the start there about the frustration and impatience of getting these things to happen. It takes time, but also having direction. And I think the best way to practice is in 5-minute lots throughout the day. Set yourself a little short-term goal. In the next 5 minutes, I'm going to purely focus on blah, blah, blah. Go in and work on it for 5 minutes. Now, if I did this, that's what that line feels like. And the mere fact that I'm changing shape using valves should not take away from you have a rest. You've taught the body what it needs to do. So it's C to A. Shape change. No blow. This is passive. If you were here, you wouldn't feel any activation of the abdominal wall at all. By the end, because I want the F to be louder, there is a little bit of engagement versus passive completely. That's passive. That's just tapping. There's a tiny little bit of air coming out, so it's not very loud. Soon as like you went, start to engage the body, it gets louder. So there's a little nudge as we go up. Excuse me. And don't forget, I don't do this playing. I'm putting this out there for you guys to see my process of learning if it's of interest to you. I'm never going to get up and play this in front of people. I used to play it when I was younger, but I didn't have anywhere near the understanding of the instrument, and I used to kill myself doing it. The throat was locked all the time, and I'd play like that. And I couldn't do the... I could only go... And because I had no concept of... I could never understand how you go, ho, 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 you know, getting that octave jump. And the body's doing all this sort of stuff. Now that I understand shape, it's a whole different ballgame. If I knew then what I knew now, I'd be a much better player. But then I wouldn't know this stuff. I am. Anyway, whatever. And notice that D. Because we're going from the C up to the next harmonic, which is the E, you've got E, E flat, D, so we're going up a harmonic, so there is a little shift. It's a lot easier to slur within the harmonic, but as soon as we're crossing to the next harmonic, we need to click into that harmonic. And so I want everyone to have a project, a piece, an etude, something that you're working on where you can embrace the concepts that we're working on and then be able to feel the flow-on effect from what we're working on, the benefit of it flowing into the music that you're practicing. That's the best way to get real benefit from doing this. What you will notice from doing it is you'll be at the end of a gig and you'll be feeling better. You'll be feeling less chopped because you're learning to play with a more efficient system. Playing long harmonic slurs for a long time with just about zero air pressure is practicing the lip, is teaching the lip to respond on less airflow. So you don't need to work as hard. It's all tied in. I'm going now. We've done the hour. I'm very proud of myself for doing that. If you're still watching, bless. You know, have a great Friday. And I look forward to tomorrow morning to see if we can tick some more boxes and then fill out the sheet and fold it up and hide it and bring it out in 3 weeks' time. That's going to be really exciting. So I hope you're up for it. I hope you're doing it. I hope you're enjoying it. Please send me any emails, ask any questions. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Au revoir. Love yous all. And